Okay, so I wanted to give a little introduction to customizing these Gallic learning decks. The way that I've created these decks is so that each one of them needs to be customized to you specifically and personally. We're so much more able to take up language, take up and learn new words and recall them when our learning is directly related to personal experience and memory and is relevant to our lives. So each one of these cards has all of the data associated with the card that's needed and associated with the word, but the relevance, the stickiness of the word really needs to come from you. And I'm just going to show you how you can do that with these cards, with these decks. So this is going to be the deck that you're going to download to play with before you download any of the bigger decks. So we're just going to open this up, expand this, and we're going to go to the Gallic Demo Raw deck. And that just has a few cards in it. So you click on that and it brings you to this screen here. And we're going to click on the Browse window, which is going to bring up all of the cards in that deck, in this deck. So don't get too scared because there's lots of information, but really a lot of it is repetitive. So what we have here is the first word in this deck, which is broke. Now, broke is a noun. It says right here. It's a feminine noun. And in this window, we have the IPA, the International Phonetic Alphabet sounds. We also have a sound file, an audio file, which we'll hear in just a minute. The card has more information. It has the genitive form broike and the plural form, which is broken. Now, you're not going to need these right away if you're just starting out, but this information becomes much more helpful a little bit later on in your studies. So it's good to have it there right from the beginning. It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. That's what I always say. So anyways, what is broke anyway? How do I know that? Well, each deck is going to come with its own list. This deck is no different. It comes with its own list. So we're going to use Control Tab and we're going to go over to Adobe because that's where the list is. And so we have broke, and broke means shoe. So when I think about shoe, and this is singular, you notice it's not shoes because we know that the plural form is on the card and it's broken. So it's broke, which is shoe, one shoe. So when I think about shoes, when I think about a shoe, when I think about my favorite shoe, I have a fantastic pair of Doc Marten brogues, which interestingly enough, the word brogue comes from this word broke. Uh, so what I want to do is I want to connect this card with that specific shoe, not just any brogue, not just any shoe, but those specific shoes. And an easy way, a very quick way to do this is just to go to Google Images. Now I know that the color of them was called Merlot. So if I look up Doc Marten Merlot brogue, yeah, that's them, exactly them. And as I said, it's a singular word, so it can be helpful if you make that then a singular shoe. And this is a great picture, nice full frame. So I'm going to right click that. I'm going to copy that image and I'm going to Control Tab back over to Anki. I'm going to go down to the picture. I'm going to select all of this and I'm going to Control paste that in there, just like that. The brogue is there. Now, when I bought these shoes, you're going to want a personal connection, and that's going to help you. So if there's a story that you have around the image, the particular image. So with these shoes, I bought them. I love them right from the beginning, but I actually broke 2 or 3 pairs of shoelaces in the first week or so that I had them. And I thought it was just that I had cheap laces or that they came with cheap laces. So I went online and I got myself a fantastic pair of super strong shoelaces that looked great. They were about $20. They arrived. I was so excited. I put them in the shoes. They worked, and about a day and a half later, they broke. And that's when I realized that the little metal eyes in the shoe actually had a little burr on it, and that was the reason that the shoelaces kept breaking. So I remember how happy I was with these fancy shoelaces. And I remember how absolutely outraged I was when it broke off in my hand. So I just need a one or two little cue to remind me of that story, and that's going to help this word stick in my mind. So I'm just going to type in here $20 laces, and that's going to do it. Okay, so as you can see, I don't need to do this 3 times. There's 3 cards here that have broke, and I'm going to show you what they do that's different. One is called a comprehension card, one is a production card, one's a spelling card. You can preview what they look like right here. Preview. So this one has the word as it's written, and it is, as you can see, a comprehension card. Do you understand what that word means? You have to guess what that word means. You have to say what that word means. So if we flip to the other side,
ปลอก
we have Fiona Smith, who is one of the Gaelic instructors from Colistin na Gaelic in Nova Scotia. She actually lives here on Vancouver Island. So we have all of the information on the back side of this card. We have the picture, we have the IPA, we have the audio file, we have the personal memory, we have the word information down here. Now, further, in order to help you learn, what I've done is for the gendered nouns, masculine and feminine nouns, I've used different color backgrounds. So blue, cool, think water, that's going to be your feminine nouns. If it's blue, it's feminine. And if it's feminine noun, it's going to have Fiona's voice. It's going to have a woman's voice saying the word. You can replay the audio
ปลอก
just by clicking on this little button here. The second card is a production card.
ปลอก
Now, this one has the word written, it has the IPA, it has the audio file, and it has the personal cue. So the card is designed to help you to remember what that word means, to cement it in your mind. And so you can go to the back side, there's a picture. That's what it is, right? And the third kind of card is a spelling card. So
ปลอก
you get the picture, you get the IPA, and you get the audio file, and you need to spell it. In this case, BRO*G. There you go. And it also reminds you, helps to cement that story in your mind so that it's all connected together. That's great. So we're going to go to the next card now. Close this window. Saloch. Now, Saloch, that's an adjective. We have again the IPA, we have the audio file, we have the comparative form, which comes in helpful later again. It's good to have it there. So what is Saloch? So let's go back to Adobe. Saloch, it's dirty. It means dirty. So when I think about the word, the adjective dirty, it's funny, the first thing that comes to mind is a cartoon character from when I was a kid from the Peanuts cartoon called Pigpen. And so I'm going to go to Google and I'm going to type in Peanuts Pigpen. And there he is. So I can pick the best picture or the one that sort of, you can take as much time as you want. I find that it's best for me to just really not be too picky. I can spend a lot of time picking just the perfect picture, but really this one's quite good enough. So I'm going to copy it, go back to Anki, select this, and paste it in there. Now, the story, the personal cue, does not necessarily need to be connected to the picture. It's great if that happens, but if you have, a memory when or an image that comes to mind with the word and it's different, but if you think about an experience you had that's different, that can work too. So when I think about dirty, I think about the experience of being the dirtiest I've ever been. I was walking along a trail right by my house when I lived in Souk, and there was a little makeshift boardwalk that was crossing this bog, this really kind of smelly, mud bog. And so as I walked across that bridge, one of the boards actually cracked under my foot. And so, in my effort to save myself from falling, I kind of jumped clear of that board that broke and promptly put both of my feet through another board, keeled over sideways, did a sort of cartwheel, and landed completely like no arms, no stopping, face first, right in this bog. I was like stuck in it, like had a hard time extracting myself from it. And I had this, I would say mud, but it was more than mud. It was like goo in my ear, in my eye, up my nose. It was everywhere. I've never been so dirty. So that whole story is a very visceral, multi-sensory experience that I can sum up just by saying, I don't know, souk, bog. That's it. And so we can look at this card. It's an adjective. It's going to be a different color. Saloch.
Saloch.
There you go. And then if we go to the next card, which is the production card,
Saloch.
there's no picture. What does that mean? And then you've got to say, there you go. And the third card,
Saloch.
you've got to spell it. So there you go. And now we come to Shiapan. Shiapan. It's a masculine noun. And so if we go to the Adobe list, we can see that Shiapan means soap. So if I think about it for a second, the first thing that comes to mind is when I was a kid, and it was Christmas time. One of the things that we used to get my father for Christmas was this thing called soap on a rope. And when I think about it now, it's such a strange thing, but it was really popular when I was a kid. So I'm going to go to Google Images. I'm wondering what it is. Soap on a rope. That's it. That's the stuff. All right. Yeah, let's go with that one. It's an easy one. So I'm going to go back to Anki. I'm just going to select that. I'm going to paste that picture of soap on a rope there. And let me see here. I'll type in, well, it's funny. My dad's name is Noel. So I'll put Noel's Christmas. And that's going to be that word. So we can preview this one too, and it's a masculine noun. So the masculine nouns are on a red background. And what you'll see is that
Shiapan.
that's the voice of Richard Hill. He's another instructor at College na Gaelic, and he also does some teaching for Shlia nan Gael in Seattle. And he's a male, obviously. So we have the red, so think fire and warm, and that's masculine. And we have a masculine voice. So here we have the picture, the IPA, the audio file, the clue, the word information. The second card,
Shiapan.
production. Do you know what the word is? It's got a clue. It's got the audio. That's what it is. It's soap.
Shiapan.
And can you spell this word? So that's the third card, and that's the whole thing. So now that we've got these cards all made, we can actually, what we want to do is we want to now move these cards because it's from the raw deck. So what we can do is we can just select all, we'll right click, and we'll change the deck. And we're going to change the deck to the study deck, the Monarch Gaelic Demo Decks Gaelic Demo Study Deck. Let's say move cards. So now it's been moved over there. So when we close this here and we go back to decks, we can go to the study deck. And when we study these cards,
ปลอก
it will come up just like this. So this is a spelling one. We've got to spell it. So can you spell it? You can listen to the sound again.
ปลอก
So let's see if you could spell it. Say show answer. Here's how you spell it. Did you get it right? If you got it right, and it was totally easy, you click the furthest right button. If you got it right and it was a bit tricky, you get it here. If you were close but you forgot something, you can click here and it'll repeat in this study session about 10 minutes. And if you got it totally wrong, you want to do it again, you can click this button here. I want to just move along, so I'm going to click good. This word here, do you know how to say it? Do you know how to pronounce it? Do you know what it is? Let's click here.
Schepen.
Schepen. This is what it is.
Schepen.
That's how you say it. Here's your clue. This is the story that you want to remember, and this is the word information.
Schepen.
Do you know what that is? It's got a clue. That's what it is.
Schepen.
Can you spell it? Did you get it right? Great. Okay. Okay, that's it. Enjoy. This will be available to download from the website. This is just a play around deck, so I want you to have some fun with this, experiment with it, try to move it around, get some personalized pictures, because the main deck that I'm going to be uploading is going to have about 700 words in it, all different kinds of words. So I really want you to get practice so that that can really work for you.